And we're live. Fantastic. Well, it's good. Marwan, you had a good weekend as well?
Yes, very, very fun. Just went to New York. It's been a while.
Oh, for a second, I was like, oh, just to New York, because mentally I was still in California with Liz. That's
Very,
awesome.
very
Day trip.
It was raining though.
Oh.
Yeah, it rained 2 out of the 4 days we were there, but we made the best out of it.
Yeah, there's a lot to do in New York, luckily, right? So
Yeah. We ate a lot. That was my main objective, was trying out different foods.
nice. What was your favorite?
My favorite was this brunch place. It was Middle Eastern. It was really good. We wanted to try this Korean barbecue place, but they didn't have barbecue the day we wanted to go. We ended up not going, but that would have been fire. I was really looking forward to that. But next time.
Cool. Not bad.
Did you have any pizza?
I did not the best, but my friends did because we got separated for like an hour or two. They did, but
yeah, I think New York style pizza is better anywhere else in the country, but in New York.
I like it.
Funny.
I mean, I might have not just never had good one. Like all of these corner stores, slices, it's just greasy cheese pizza. I don't know. Maybe a lot of people like it. It's not my favorite.
That's different. I did like the VR. We did VR World.
Ooh.
Cool. Yeah, fought some zombies, raced. That was neat. I like that.
Very cool. Awesome. Well, so let's get into it.
Let's do it.
How has the progress been?
Well, Marwan, should I start us off or?
Yeah, go for it.
So Marwan and I have done some changes from what we discussed on Thursday. Some changes on the high fidelity. So we do want to go over that briefly. We still have quite a few hours to do today before we put it into the unmoderated test. So we don't want to spend too much time talking about that unless you have fresh thoughts on it too. We can
work
what
on
we've
it
done.
as we go as well.
Exactly. We can make more changes. The biggest thing we want to talk about today is unmoderated testing. And we want to break down to you what that is and then what different components we're going to put into that. And then if you want to add anything, you can add to that as well. So that is the big thing we want to cover today. And then just to talk about what we're going to be doing for our final week.
Sounds good.
Cool. Should we get right into the Figma file, you think, Marwan?
Yeah, straight to it.
Let's get in. Okay. I will share my screen. Okay. Uh-oh, something got a little funky. I'm gonna hide these. There we go. Oh, there we go. Yeah, something got a little messed up there. Okay. So, yeah, we still need to make some more changes. And like we talked about last time, we're gonna do some A/B testing. But A/B testing with different versions, with 2 different versions. But we spread this out a bit more. This would be a video that's playing. And we spread out the cohorts a bit more. There are the 4 different options: cohorts, peer groups, virtual coffee, and Slack community. And then this is all just the same text, but we would have some more text here. Speaking of text too, we still have like really big chunks. So if you have ideas, spend on like some smaller copy to include, that would be great.
Yeah, I guess we need that for the testing, right? Okay, yeah, I can look over it after our call and just kind of like just let me know by the end of today which version you're going to test with, and then I can make any tweaks where we still miss some copy.
Okay, we were thinking of our goal, Marwan and I, was to put it into a test by the end of the day, but we can also just send you what we're going to do by the end of the day and then put in the test in the morning too, because it only takes a couple of hours to get results.
Yeah. I mean, if well, that depends on what you mean by end of the day. And you're usually pretty active still late. At least it's late for me. Well, it's also late for you usually. I mean, I got messages I think at 2 a.m., which is midnight for you. So if that's end of the day, we can definitely get it done by then.
Okay. Well, anywhere, if you go into the file, anywhere that you're seeing large amounts of text, be those sections too.
Okay.
But
yeah, again, just I need to know which columns you're gonna test with, right? Like I don't want to edit every single version here. You know what I mean?
Good point. Okay, so we'll check back in with that then. I'm not planning on working later today, so
Okay.
So it'll be earlier. Can't speak for Marwan, but yeah. Marwan, do you want to talk about this cohort page a little?
Yeah. Well, so
Something back up here? Just direct me where to go.
No, so yeah, go back to cohort.
Okay.
Down here. So we kind of want you kind of talked about doing a strip because before we had a split screen with next cohort, when, where, costs, and we as we told you, we didn't know what to really put there.
Yep.
So, but it was in like the document you sent us, so we thought it would have a we should make space for it. But you brought up the idea of doing just like a strip, like over here. So we just did next cohort, when, date, limited time, and then going through there. The limited time, that's still a work in progress, but I was wondering if that's kind of where you would head it or what you were thinking.
Yeah, that is good. Yeah, I think so.
Okay, great. And then we were kind of playing around what kind of terminology to use, limited time, or like deadline coming soon, or I don't know if you have any ideas of kind of that what's the term we talked about, Liz? Exclusivity. Just wanted to give it a little bit of exclusivity. So, what do you have any ideas of, or is limited time okay? Because that
I think the best thing we could do is only X spots available or left, maybe, because it's either that or I think like a time limit by when you can apply, but that would change every time. Well, I guess the spots would change too.
Yeah, Marwan was also thinking spots. We were talking
I would
about
do either spots, or what I've seen a lot is what people do is like a discount for the next 100 signups or something like that, like lock your rate in at $99 for the next 100, then it goes to $199 or something like that. That's what a lot of people did recently. But I think that would be quite a bit more changes. So
yeah,
I think that's okay. Like just from a visual layout, that's something we would need to play with separately. I think that's almost a separate test.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm good with as it is right now. It's
okay. Great. And then we just added a video. I don't, it definitely would be a different thumbprint.
right.
But yeah, we added, I don't know if that title is sufficient. Previous cohorts, or we could do, because I know you wanted like a highlight reel of previous cohorts.
Right.
Yeah, like what to expect, best of, or other options.
Can you zoom into that again?
Let's say.
Yeah, no, I think that's fine. So there's a question though with the unmoderated tests. What are we gonna do for the videos? Is there like a possibility to like have a pop up when they click or something?
The videos. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just wondering because they would expect something to play, right? So how do we communicate what would be playing? Because we don't have the videos of course.
That's a very good question. And with unmoderated tests, it's the people who are taking them know that it's not a finished site. And that's something that they're given, a prompt that they're given beforehand, like this is not a finished site, so not all videos are going to work, not all links are going to work, not everything's going to be clickable. So it'll be interesting to see what people say, just looking at the videos and a play button, but we won't have the capabilities to have a video playing in the background as it would. That is one of the faults of the unmoderated test. You know, it's not going to be a perfect live version.
Okay, yeah, so then I think as long as we have different thumbnails, maybe that could just be, I think what would be good here is kind of almost maybe like a collage of different streams, you know, like, or just a snapshot from a different stream, like from a previous cohort.
Yeah,
something which would kind of indicate, right, this is like, okay, best of cohorts or something.
Yeah, I could do it so that, you know, I'll do four screen, or break the screen up into 4 videos and just just have them like a collage right next to each other. The only thing is you have 3 cohorts out right now, so the 4th one could be I don't know. I don't know. What do you think?
Coffee hours.
Maybe, or this.
Yeah, I mean, or the peer group, but then we need to name it slightly different, maybe.
Highlights, group community highlights.
Yeah, previous highlights. Yeah, why not? That's good. Keep it simple.
Keep it simple.
You like that?
On the line of simple, too, Marwan and I were talking earlier about fantasy.co, that website again, and just some like different perspectives to bring in with it. Their site is very, very simple. Like they do not have a lot of text. They have like this very minimalistic. So we can, because before you were wanting more engagement, as we were talking about on Thursday, more engagement, something more livelier, and we can still kind of add a little pizzazz to bring that engagement, but just to keep that in mind too, that the simplicity it's easier for people to comprehend what's going on quicker.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk about anything more with this then, or should we move into unmoderated tests? That might take the rest of the call here.
Yeah, it's up to you. I'm not sure if there's anything else you need clarification on, or.
What do you think, Marwan?
It has been a couple of days. I don't know if you remember if you wanted curriculum and before.
Yeah.
The framework, or
let me see.
Last time you said curriculum first, but this is not. Well, you said, yeah, this I think needs to be actually renamed curriculum/framework. This is schedule. But like last time you said this framework first and then schedule. Is that
so? Yeah. Okay. I don't remember exactly what I said. I have some notes, but they don't make sense right now. I would have to look at the stream, but yeah, I think the framework first. I do remember that we talked about that, and then
people aren't going to want to know the schedule if they're not going to know if they want to join it.
Right. So I'm almost even wondering if we should move the 6 boxes for the framework up, including the next cohort slice.
And then do schedule.
Then do schedule. And then maybe.
I like that being in the middle. Okay, so I'm just gonna do. Wait, hold up, please.
Okay.
Because I put around and then a bunch of stuff got rearranged.
Happening quick.
There we go. Okay. Yeah. So this is schedule. All right. Yeah. Now we can do that. Copy.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I like that being in the middle, like the next cohort.
Okay. And like, is co-starting for you having that before the schedule?
I would almost. Yeah, that's a good question. No, I think the schedule is good there because that is kind of related to the next cohort, right? But then I'm wondering if we should move the video in between those 2 tiles. Like flip the is co-starting for you with the video now.
I think those are similar concepts.
Because then we have another break on the topic from schedule to is co-starting for you. Those are not really related. So we have next cohort schedule, video is co-starting for you, ready to join. That makes sense too, because now you have, is it for you, ready to join, right next to each other.
Totally. Yeah, I see that. Cool. Getting a good storyline here.
Yeah, I think that looks good.
Awesome. Sweet. All righty, let's get into some testing. You ready, guys?
Yep.
Any final thoughts?
No. So am I to assume that always the last column is the one you use, right?
You are to assume that, but then we're gonna still try to do 2 different options here to A/B test. I mean, it's looking like we have 1 option of everything, so we'll see how it ends up. We actually just might. I mean, it's better to A/B test.
Yeah, just
we'll name it Final Draft 1 and Final Draft 2.
Okay, perfect.
For A/B testing.
Yes,
okay.
Marwan.
Once you have those, just shoot me a quick message, and I'll try to get to it right away as much as I can.
Perfect. All righty. Okay, so can you guys still see my? Oh, let me share another screen. So what we're gonna do next is, I don't know how deep you went into the unmoderated testing results, Ben.
Quite a bit.
Quite a bit. Okay. Well, we're gonna go through them a bit, and so it might be some some of what you've already seen, but we're going to break it down a little bit more and tell you what we'll be putting into this next unmoderated test. And then you can also add tasks and post questions, stuff like that.
Okay.
And a few other things. So let's get into that. First, so we're going to go through the Excel sheet, but first I want to just show you some images that I took of the dashboard. Do you see these?
Yep.
Okay, I won't go over this too much because we're going to go through the actual data, but and I do want to say a purpose of us going through this is not only for this test coming up, but we hope that this is also valuable for you later, that you can do unmoderated tests yourself. You're going to be constantly iterating, close starting in the site. And so hopefully this is something you can do later on too. Once you know how to do it, it's quite simple, and it is a lot of really great information on how to move forward and iterate. So this is a dashboard that's within Try My UI. Try My UI is what we used last time. We're going to use the same testing platform this time. And so this is the SUS score here. We're going to talk about that a little bit more later on, but this is a great visualization. This is the scores we got last time. And then this is still talking about the SUS. The great thing about this, when you go into Try My UI, and can you see it's weird, you can't see the same things. Oh, sorry, I was just looking at the wrong screen here. This is the SUS here. I have this open twice on my computer. So this is the SUS. We'll talk more about this. This is also the SUS, and what's great about this is you can see who's had the worst experience. And so then when you're going through the videos, you can go straight to that person's video. So Adolfo here.
This is very small now. Just heads up.
Is that bigger?
That's better, yeah.
Okay. So you can see here, Adolfo rated this the least, or the lowest. And you can see really clearly here with the standard deviation in the red. And Marlon's going to break down this test a little more afterwards. This is another psychometric test. It's basically saying how people would refer you. It's basically saying if they would recommend this to a friend and which people would and would not. It breaks it down by the 5 testers. So each test is going to have 5 testers. And this is really great because it breaks down by task, how easy or difficult everybody rated their task. So you can see like task 1 and 3 were the most difficult for people. So really quickly visually, you can see where the problem areas are. And this is task duration. It shows how long each task took. That's not going to necessarily give you information on where there's problem areas because different tasks are going to take different amounts of time. But it could give you some insight. Okay, now I'm going to share the Excel sheet. Well, do you have any questions on the dashboard? Or anything to add, Marwan?
No, that's good.
Okay. Let's get into the Excel then. All right. Okay, so I'm going to start us off and then we're going to go like tab by tab down here. So some quick things on this page is so you can add different demographics in the beginning of what kind of people you want. The only demographic that we added to the first test was that they need to be between 25 and 60 years old and that they're new testers to the site. Then we also added the screener questions. To be honest, these are not verbatim. So we added these later, but this is the general, this is a paraphrase of what the questions were. It was basically, are you interested in starting a new business? If they answered yes, we accepted them. If they answered no, we denied them. And then the second question was, are you interested in getting support from a community? Same thing. Answered yes, we accepted. No, we denied them. So those are based on our personas and what kind of people are going to be interested in your site. So first question here is, we are going to use those same questions to get the same kind of people spend. But if you want any other type of screener, we can add it. You can also do a verbal screener. We didn't do that last time, but you can add a verbal screener so that people have to give a verbal response, not just a yes or no.
Okay. Can you do they don't have to be selectors too, right? Like we can just ask a screener question and then regardless of their answer, they still get through, just so we have kind of a preload. Like for example, are you a part of any other, business focused communities online?
Because you want to know their answer?
Yeah.
Well, that's a good point. That's also something that we can do in the tasks.
Okay.
Because the tasks don't necessarily have to be tasks. They don't necessarily have to be like, go find this. They can be like just a question to ask somebody.
Okay. Yeah, we could do that. And just because that would be interesting. I mean, 5 is really not a big enough sample for that. But of course, the intention for this would be to see if there is a difference on likelihood of being interested in co-starting if you're also already in other communities, which my assumption here would be yes, just because you already see the value of it, at least in part, right? But that, of course, it's an assumption. So that would be an interesting one to add, yeah. If that's a task, that's fine.
Okay, can you, let's see, so are you a part of any other business communities? That was your question?
Yeah, online. Business-focused communities, I would say. Business-focused
communities online. Okay, we will add that to one of the tasks then. The great thing about adding that to the task is that when you see the video, then you can hear their response to that too as they're going through.
Cool. And is the results, the sample size 5, is that a part of the free tier, I'm assuming? You can't do more than 5? Yeah.
It is. But 5 is also a magic number in UX, UI, and in research. Because once you get to 5, you're basically, it's like, I don't know, Maron, if you know like the percentage, but it's like you got basically all the information you need. And then once you get more than that, you're not really getting that much more.
Well, statistically speaking, 5 is nothing, right? It starts at 30 from a like standard deviation and all of that. 5 is just like you get a good, maybe visual feedback and stuff like that might work. I'm not sure on that. But if you want to look at your results statistically, it's not enough. But it's fine. That makes sense from a.
It's a really common number in UX UI.
UX, yeah.
That's the number that they go with is 5.
And we've actually done projects prior and we've tested it with 5. It's pretty standard. Yeah, we've done 5, and after the second and third, they just start giving you mostly the same information. It's only like a small percentage that's new information. But yeah, the first one is the most important. They give you about, I don't know exactly, but around 30 to 40% of like just common information that the rest are gonna probably give you, and then each person adds just a little bit, and then that percentage decreases each time you interview a new person. So 5 is like the magic number for UX at least.
I was skeptical about it when I first heard that. I was like, no way, we need more people. But there's been research on it as well.
Yeah.
The amount of information you
get.
Very
possible. Yeah. Just like, so I couldn't answer my other question with it. Let's put it that way. I couldn't deduct if there is any impact from being in other communities with 5.
No, that's a tough
statistical question.
Yeah, that's a tough question. Yeah. Okay. Any other screeners while we're on this page that you'd want to add, or any other?
No, I think that's good. I think that's a good starting point. Those 2 make sense.
Okay, and sometimes the demographics, I think it's good to keep it open, but if you wanted different demographics, we can do that too. But I think like if you're okay with that age range, we can stick with that. Okay, cool. You want to take it away with the Taskmar one?
Yeah. So for this general scenario we give them, which aligns with your website, is you're interested in launching your own product or service. You're at your unique stage of development, whether that be the beginning stage of discovery or launching your own website. And a friend, I can't even see the rest.
Oh yeah, sorry.
No, it's okay.
Let's see.
A friend is in your business, or your business network has recommended co-starting. So
Ah. Okay.
co-starting to you, they sent you the website and you are exploring how co-starting can help you along your journey. So that's the first thing they read. And then so they base off they already know what they're going into, like what the website is generally for and why they're there. And then we kind of asked them for an impression test. We chose yes. So what that is as soon as they enter the website and they look at it, we want we ask them to basically give us a description, using only a few words to describe kind of their first impression of the website.
Right.
And so right after that, we give them 3 tasks. And then we want to kind of keep these the same for our next test. We use this for the previous test. We want to keep it the same so we have something to compare to. But we can always, like Liz has already mentioned, we can add any more. So if you have a task that you want them to do and you want to see what the results of, we can definitely add them. But we certainly want to keep at least these 3 the same.
Right.
But yeah. Any questions on that?
No. Other than the task we mentioned, I think is good. Maybe another one to add, another question to add would be: are there any, or no, let me think. Other than cohorts, what aspects of co-starting have piqued your interest? Because we added much more now, right, than it was before. And I think we want to know if, like, those first questions are cohort focused, but then we also want to know, it's like, oh, maybe a lot of them were actually interested in or got more value from, or more exposure to the coffee meeting, or I don't know. But you guys see what I'm going with this.
Yeah.
I understand your idea. Like, yeah, how to phrase that.
Maybe another one here, like following directly task 3, would be if with the information provided, or was enough information provided for you to make an informed decision to join a cohort or not?
That's a good question. And you know what?
If not, explain why.
That would be really good if you want either one. That would also be a really good post-test survey question.
Sure.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good idea.
So just to kind of reiterate what you just said, just so we're on the same page. The 2 tasks that we will add will be: are you a part of any other business-focused community online? And then another task would be basically, what other activities on the site look interesting to you?
Yep.
And then we can add that post-test question of, was there enough information provided to join a cohort?
Okay.
Cool. Awesome. Isn't this fun? Okay, so I'm going to jump in. Oh, do you have anything else to say there, Marwan, for the tasks, or anyone?
No.
We're done there?
Yeah.
Okay. Gonna go to the video then. There's actually not too much to say here, because, well, did you watch the videos last time, Sven?
Part of it, not all of it, but yeah, I did.
Okay. Well, these links are no longer going to work, but we do have the video saved on our drive that's been shared with you. Let me know if you can't get it, Sven.
I'm pretty sure I could still log in last time. That was post duration. I mean, you just can't run any new tests, but they are not going to refuse you access to the data.
Oh, I didn't try to get in after that.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense, right? Like that would be bad user experience if you run a test in your trial and then you can't have access to your tests anymore.
It would be, but they have to make money.
Yeah, well, you can't run another test, all right? That's how you sign up. But you did run one. I mean, I don't know that. I wouldn't do that because that's just pissing people off. So
good point. And they know they're a testing site, so they know it works.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I'm sure they tested that.
Okay, well, great. So not too much to say about here, because the videos are great. You can see them and you can watch people. You know, you saw them. So you can watch what people are doing. So that's really awesome. Okay. On to you, Marwan.
Yeah, so the main thing to know here is that while you're watching the videos, you have the ability to annotate. So there's going to be a column on the right, and you can, put any kind of comment or just for future reference, like a quote. So you want a direct quote from one of the testers. You could write that and annotate it and have it on the side for future reference. And these notes are kind of notes that Liz put when she tested. And yeah, she just annotated that next to each one of these videos. But yeah, that's just something to keep in mind. You have the ability to do.
I just deleted their names because I don't think we should be showing. Now I'm like, with this live video, I'm like, uh-oh.
Too late now.
I know, like, oh, crap. Okay.
Well, their last names are redacted at least, so.
Okay.
You want to remove that because I think you might have them on other.
Yeah, it's too late now. They're already out.
Oh God. Okay, I was gonna put them back.
I think it's fine.
Okay. All right.
As long as it's not a full name and it's not anything else, any personally identifiable information, right?
Okay. Yeah, learning here. My bad. Sorry. Okay. So.
Don't come after Liz, guys, if you're watching this.
Oh no! Don't tell them where I live. Okay. Okay. So. Oh darn. Okay. I'm just gonna go over here. So. This is the post-test survey. So these are the questions we asked last time, and as we've been discussing here, we're going to do the same questions so that we can compare, but we can add as many as we want. So we will add that one we discussed, but this is just great qualitative information because you can see what people liked, and this person really emphasized they love the review section.
Here I would actually almost want to add a specific, so these are good, like the overall questions, definitely, of course, keep them the same. I also think the one we just mentioned, that like, what else did pique your interest? And then finally, I'm wondering if we should almost do a specific question for each element of co-starting. So in your own words, can you please describe what a co-starting cohort is after seeing the website? In your own words, can you please describe what a peer group is?
Okay, wait, just to back up a little bit, because you just said the question, what piqued your interest, but we were going to do that as a task.
No, you said we should add it to the post, right?
We were talking about adding, was enough information provided to join a cohort? Was there enough?
Oh, sorry, yes. Just
to clarify. Oh, okay. Do you want to add the piquing question too?
I don't think I think it's good as a task we get there, because that's on video. This is not on video, right? This is just
No, this is
text.
written.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Leave the one in the task, and then the one we said to add here, and then an explicit question, which I think it can be the same question for cohort, peer group, coffee meeting, and then, I mean, I guess the community To Slack, we don't really have to ask, right? I mean, it's Slack.
Okay. That's a tough question. So we'll see how much people retain. That's going to be it's like a tough but good question.
Yeah. I mean, if they got it, they will have a answer.
Mm-hmm.
We will see how much effort they put into it. If they didn't get it, then they will tell us, hopefully, right? Like that's the intention. Or they got something completely different. Who knows, right? Could also be.
Okay.
But I think just being really like explicit about it, right? Like it's like, so what do you describe back to me what you just saw, kind of thing, right?
Awesome. We'll do those 3: coffee, peer group, and virtual coffee.
Because here, for example, just above where your cursor is right now, the idea was excellent. Or is, I guess that's supposed to be say is. The idea is excellent, but I would like to know what you define as the idea, right? Like what did you actually perceive? Because like I know what I want to convey, but do you perceive what I'm trying to convey? That's like one of the tests, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of course, that's you get some of that while they're talking, right? Because as they go through, they're of course talking out loud what they think they're seeing here and all of that. So a lot of times you get that in the video already, but some of them are a little more task driven, more robotic, right?
Okay, awesome. So describe what you understand is included in a cohort, A, B, peer group, C, coffee meeting.
No, I would be more explicit. I would say like in your own words, can you describe what a X is after seeing this website?
Okay. Okay, awesome.
Good.
All right, so let's move on. We're going to get a deeper explanation of the sus here, which is this.
Yeah, so so we showed you a screenshot of the results, but here's a bit more. There's their name again. So sus has a scale called the Likert scale, 1 to 5, from strongly disagree to strongly agree. You're probably familiar with that, Sven. That's what that's how they scale it, or that's how they score it. But yeah, overall, the average was 70. And yeah, it says C, but that doesn't really mean anything. So it's not something to worry about. But 70% is just the average of kind of their overall, score. And as you can see, number 6 was the lowest, 42.50, and it's like negative 39, 72%. But overall, we do want to, so when we test it again, we do want to compare how the score does change. So obviously if it goes up, then we're doing something right, and we're appeasing, the potential future clients. But if not, and it's the same, then maybe it's not the website, maybe it's the interests for a community like this, or who knows what. But we'll know that based on their comments and everything. Liz, do you have anything else to add on this?
Well, here's the questions, the 10 questions. This is a very, the scale's been around for a while, and it's really common, and it's really simple and quick is what's great about it. There are other tests out there that you can do that are going to be measuring different things, but this is a very quick, easy, they call it like the quick and dirty.
That set of questions, you mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, this this specific
test in general.
this test in general. There is definitely different psychometrics, just so you know, for future testing too. There's different tests you can do.
You wrote the questions then, right? No,
these are standardized questions that are a part of the scale. And that's what's great about it, is that it is standardized. It's a quantitative measure that we can look at and compare. So this will be really interesting to compare what the current co-starting is to our prototype. Cool. Okay, the NPS here. Oh wait, did you have any questions, Ben, with that?
No.
Okay. So the NPS is basically, we talked about this briefly before, it's just seeing how likely people are to recommend this to a colleague or a friend. And this is really important for you because a lot of what you're hoping in the future is some word of mouth to grow co-starting. So this shows if people were likely to recommend you. And what's great about this, just like the screenshots we're looking at, you can go to these specific people and be like, okay, I wonder why Alexandra and Teresa didn't want to recommend us. And then you can go and watch their videos and get some ideas from them as well. And as Marwan and I were talking about before, it's really interesting how your biggest promoter also gave you the lowest sus score. And maybe we were thinking it was because they loved the idea, but they weren't getting enough information, and that's why they rated a lower sus score. But it's kind of some things to consider. Okay.
Yeah, so task usability, they scored each task, and for what do you understand is the value of co-starting and joining a cohort, average was 5.8. Task 2, you would like to know what's involved in joining a cohort, find out what a cohort would include. Tested 4, and how would you sign up for a cohort? That was 6.2. But yeah, so we'll compare these to our next test, and then based on that, and then the additional tasks that we've added, hopefully that will also be up compared to these. So like we're going for at least 7 and higher, because that's the highest score right now is 7. But yeah, we want to surpass that. Get that to at least 7 and up, 7 plus.
And I would just add to that task number 2, and we're gonna have 2 more tasks added, so it'll be 5 tasks. But task number 2 is really important for us because that's a big goal that we've had this whole time, is how we're conveying the messaging of co-starting. And so task 2 is really what we're going to be focusing on. We really want to see how that's changed. And then your post questions are also, they're included in that as well. It's very similar.
Sounds good.
Okay, this is task duration. I really don't think task duration is as important.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, it's not a big thing.
Really tell us much, no.
No, it doesn't. So I'll just kind of move on from that. Okay, then last tab here. We talked about this briefly, but if you just want to add some things about the demographics here, Marwan.
So I mean, we were thinking about it, and so for example, the employment status. We brought up the point. Well, we discussed it. And we were just thinking that if it's like an entrepreneur, which is kind of our target user, they were like in between projects or whatever, they could potentially be unemployed.
Mm-hmm.
And so, just briefly, while they put their idea together and whatnot, so maybe changing something like the employment status to unemployed as well. And
So is that a requirement right now that they need to be employed?
Yeah, this is the yeah.
No, these aren't requirements.
Okay. Because
Yeah,
I agree,
sorry.
like it could be both, but here we see already, right? It's employed but owning a business, so obviously an entrepreneur.
Yeah, the only
I think that's
requirement we have is the age. But if you wanted other ones, these are the demographics that they look at. For these.
Yeah,
yeah. Let me think about that for a second.
Because income, that could be different for everybody. Yeah, like Marvin was saying, employment's going to be different. Yeah, where they're living.
Now, I think that's fine for now. Just keep it open. We'll need to drill down into future tests with that, but
yeah. Okay,
that needs to be different tests to answer that question, who the target audience is. So it's not really coming out of the website.
Whole different project. Yeah.
Right. Cool. Sounds good. Let's get it going.
Awesome.
Cool. Do you have anything else to add to the moderated testing?
Nope.
Okay. Oh, we will need you to, we'll let you know once we pop it in, because we're going to need you to like sign in with your, or confirm your email that you provided us with.
Yeah, and if you could send us a couple of thumbprints to use for the prototype.
What do you mean?
Just to switch it up. Like for some of the videos, we're kind of using the same ones, but even them, they're kind of blurrier because they're just a screenshot of video I found on like off YouTube. So if you could,
I would do the same thing. Just go into the YouTubes. There's playlists, so you can go through 1, 2, 3 cohort, and just do a screen grab. It's like I would do the same thing right now. So I wouldn't overthink it. Just like you said earlier, just do a quick collage, something which looks good, and have that.
Perfect. Okay. Awesome.
Good. Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Well, just to finish off, we can just tell you what we're doing the rest of the week. This is our last week. You sound like you were ready to go, Sven.
Yeah, I mean, everything clear, right?
Well, we could just sum up what we're finishing off with. So, as you know, what we're doing next, unmoderated tests and iterations that we've talked about. But then tomorrow, after we get the results, we'll be iterating based on those unmoderated test results. And then that's going to be our last iteration. And we'll have our assets in the Figma file. And then we're just going to make a presentation for you for Friday. And then that's it.
Cool. Awesome.
And we're meeting Friday at 10:30 your time? Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
Okay,
great. What kind of format is the presentation? Just like an actual presentation or anything? Do you guys follow a different thing?
We haven't discussed it too much, but probably Keynote. What do you think, Marwan?
I love Keynote.
Oh, yeah. Keynote it is then.
All right. Fair enough. Cool. Very good. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Great. See you then.
Well, bye, you two.
Bittersweet.
Bye, guys.
Bye.